هذا التسجيل هو عمل تطوعي مقدم من مبادرة بصيرة للأشخاص المكفوفين وضعاف البصر بالتعاون مع المجلس الأعلى لحقوق الأشخاص ذوي الإعاقة. Action Pack 10 10th Grade Students Book Unit 8 Earth. أمامي في 3 صور: صورة منطقة جليدية، صورة أحفورة، وصورة بركان. Before you begin, Exercise 1. What do the photographs show? Do you know what subject they all have in common? Discuss with a partner. Exercise 2. Read the words in the box. Which are connected to Earth? Check the meaning of any words you don't know in the activity book glossary or in a dictionary. The words in the box that you have to choose from are dramatic, هائل, مذهل, Ice Age, العصر الجليدي, eruption, ثوران, asteroid, الكويكب, rock, صخرة, فصل, أحفورة. Exercise 3. Read and listen to the magazine article. Who or what can tell us about climate changes in the past? The magazine article. Earth's climate story. Earth's climate is changing, but this is not new. Over millions of years, Earth has experienced many dramatic climate changes. For example, several ice ages, when glaciers covered much of Earth's surface, have taken place. In the past, Earth's climate was affected by sudden disasters, such as huge volcanic eruptions and clashes with asteroids. These events filled the atmosphere with smoke and dust, which blocked out the sun, causing the climate to become cold and dark. Many plants and animals probably died on these occasions. Geologists who study Earth's rocks and how they formed can read layers of rock. These layers provide a record of what happened in the past. In warm periods of Earth's history, there were many plants and animals which eventually died and were fossiled in layers of rock. Archaeologists have also discovered evidence that shows how Earth's climate has changed over millions of years. For example, they have found fossils of trees in parts of Antarctica, which prove that this area was much warmer 110 million years ago than it is today. Humans whose activities might be causing global warming today need to take action. Otherwise, there will probably be more extreme climate changes in the future. Nobody knows for sure what to expect. However, Earth, which has already survived some dramatic changes in its long history, may have to face some challenges in the future. Comprehension. Exercise 4. Read and listen to the article again and answer these questions. Question 1. When did glaciers cover much of Earth's surface? The correct answer for this question is: the glaciers covered much of Earth's surface during several ice ages. Question 2. Which disasters caused the climate to become cold and dark? Question 3. What can geologists discover from the number of layers of rock? Question number 4. What have archaeologists found in Antarctica, and what does this prove? Question number 5. What is meant by the words "take action"? What kind of action might need to be taken? Question number 6. What do you think the climate will be like in the future? Explain. Grammar. Non-defining relative clauses. Exercise 5. Choose the correct alternatives in the sentences based on the text on page 62. The text is the magazine article, Earth's Climate Story. Number 1. Sudden disasters fill the atmosphere with smoke and dust, comma, blank blocked out the sun, comma, causing the climate to become cold and dark. Do you fill in the blank with who, which, or whose? Just remember, who refers to people, which refers to things and animals, and where to refer to places, and when for time. So the correct answer here would be which, because we are talking about the smoke and dust. Remember, which refers to things and animals. So the correct answer here would be: sudden disasters filled the atmosphere with smoke and dust, which blocked out the sun, causing the climate to become cold and dark. Sentence number 2. Several ice ages, comma, blank glaciers covered much of Earth's surface, comma, have taken place. Fill in the blank with which, when, or who. Number 3. Geologists, comma, blank study Earth's formation and its rocks, comma, find out what happened in the past by looking at layers of rock. Do you fill in the blank with which, whose, or who? Number 4. In the Antarctic, comma, blank plants and animals face a harsh, cold environment, comma. Archaeologists have found evidence that this area was once much warmer. Do you fill in the blank with who, which, or where? Number 5. Humans, comma, blank, activities cause global warming, comma, need to take action. Do you fill in the blank with who, whose, or which? Speaking. Exercise 6. Work in a group. Make a sentence about one of the places in the box below. Then add more information to the sentence using a non-defining relative clause. The words in the box are the Sahara Desert, the Taj Mahal, the Equator, the Amazon River, Amman. So you start the sentence. For example, I chose the Sahara Desert. You start the sentence by saying the Sahara Desert is in Africa. But to put it in a non-defining relative clause, the sentence could become the Sahara Desert, comma, which is in Africa, comma, is very hot. So the non-defining relative clause here is which is in Africa. So you start with a sentence using one of these words, and then you add a non-defining relative clause to your sentence. Writing. Exercise 7. Read these sentences from a London guidebook. The first sentence is, the post office tower, which was built in 1964, is 189 meters high. The second sentence, Charles Dickens, whose house is in Bloomsbury, was a famous writer. Write similar sentences about a town you know well. Include a non-defining relative clause in each. Then share your work with the class. For example, I could say something about the Dead Sea. I can say, the Dead Sea, which is the lowest point on earth, is in Jordan. Now write similar sentences. Vocabulary, climate change. Exercise 1. Find words from the previous text we read that relate to the following subjects. The subjects are climate, natural disasters, professions. For example, under professions, I can put geologists because the previous article mentioned geologists. So listen again to the previous article and fill in the table under climate, natural disasters, and professions. Vocabulary, adjectives. Exercise 2. Complete the sentences about changes to Earth using the words in the box. The words in the box are all adjectives. They describe things. The words are warm, fertile, dark, frozen, and small. Sentence 1. In past ice ages, much of Earth's water was blank. Do you fill in the blank with warm, fertile, dark, frozen, or small? The correct answer is frozen. In past ice ages, much of Earth's water was frozen. Number 2. Volcanic eruptions made the climate cold and blank. Do you fill in the blank with warm, fertile, dark, or small? Number 3. In blank periods, there were many plants and animals. Do you fill in the blank with warm, fertile, dark, or small? Number 4. Blank dinosaurs once lived in Antarctica. Number 5. The Southern Sahara was once a blank valley. Do you fill it with warm, fertile, dark, or small? Quotation. Read the quotation. Do you agree with it? Why or why not? Translate the quotation into Arabic. The quotation is, wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine. Anthony J. D'Angelo, author. Reading and grammar. Non-defining relative clauses. Exercise 4. Read and complete the news report. Use the phrases from the box. The phrases in the box are, who later on established the Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature. That used to be covered with plants. Who both aim at turning the desert in Aqaba into an oasis. That bring back the desert to life. Which were full of trees in the past. The news report. Jordan's wildlife. Through the years, Jordan has faced several environmental problems. One of these problems is the deforestation of areas. Blank. Do you fill in the blank with who later on established the Royal Society for Conservation of Nature? Or that used to be covered with plants? Or who both aim at turning the desert in Aqaba into an oasis? Or that bring back the desert to life? Or which were full of trees in the past? The correct answer here is that used to be covered with plants. So one of these problems in the deforestation of areas that used to be covered with plants. These areas, blank, have now become deserts. Do you fill in the blank with who later on established the Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature, or who both aim at turning the desert in Aqaba into an oasis, or that bring back the desert to life, or which were full of trees in the past. The loss of forested areas has put many animal species, as well as the soil, in danger. The decline of wildlife was first noticed by a group of hunters many years ago. A non-governmental organization that carries out projects to protect the environment. Do you fill in the blank with who later on established the Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature, or who both aim at turning the desert in Aqaba into an oasis, or that bring back the desert to life, or which were full of trees in the past. The Jordanian government has also taken steps towards protecting the remaining forests and started projects. Do you fill in the blank with who later on established the Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature, or who both aim at turning the desert in Aqaba into an oasis, or that bring back the desert to life, or which were full of trees in the past. One of these projects is the Sahara Forest Project, an agreement signed by Jordan and Norway. Do you fill in the blank with who later on established the Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature, or who both aim at turning the desert in Aqaba into an oasis, or that bring back the desert to life, or which were full of trees in the past. Speaking, exercise 5. What other projects do you think can be carried out to protect nature? Discuss your ideas in a group. Then share your ideas with class. Exercise 6. What causes climate change? Do you think climate change is important? Share your ideas with the class. Writing, exercise 7. Write 3 paragraphs about what causes climate change and if you think it is important for the future of Earth. Use your ideas and those of the class from exercise 6. Writing strategies. Post-writing. After you have written your first draft, read your work again carefully. Pay special attention to your spelling and use of grammar. If you like, you can exchange pieces of work with a classmate. Give each other useful feedback. Vocabulary. Volcanoes. Exercise 1. These words are all connected to volcanoes. Which ones refer to kinds of rocks? Check the meaning of any word you don't know in the activity book glossary or in a dictionary. The words you have to choose from are plate, صفيحة, crust, قشرة, crack, تشقق, pressure, ضغط, bubble up, فقاعة, تصعد, magma Sahara, lava حمم بركانية، بازلت حجر بركاني، ash رماد، crush يسحق، wear down يتقشر، obsidian سبج. So which one of these words refer to kinds of rocks? Reading. Read the article about volcanoes. What positive effects do volcanoes have? Volcanoes. A. Volcanoes occur where the plates in Earth's crust have cracks or weak spots in them. The very hot melted rocks, which lie deep under Earth's surface, are under a lot of pressure, and they bubble up and try to squeeze out of any holes. The hot melted rocks are called magma. When a volcano erupts, the magma forces its way up through the surface and spills out as lava. Pieces of rock and ash are often thrown out with the lava. B. About 4.5 billion years ago, which was just after our planet was formed, there were probably many more volcanoes than there are now, and they erupted more often. Some of these were active in Jordan. Today, 1/6 of Jordan is covered with basalt or hardened lava. Most of this area is called the Basalt Plateau and lies between Azraq, Mafraq, and the northern borders with Syria. There are at least 40 volcanic centers in Jordan, all inactive now. C. Volcanoes can be very dangerous to people when they are in the process of erupting. The hot lava can destroy towns and kill people. The ash can crush houses and plants. However, after the eruption, the ash and lava make the ground very good for farming. The magma cools into different kinds of solid rocks that wear down and become earth that is very good for growing plants. A long time ago, farmers used the obsidian, the volcanic glass, for their tools. Even nowadays, obsidian is still used to make knives for medical operations. Comprehension Exercise 3. Choose a suitable heading for each paragraph, then explain your answers. هلا الفقرات الثلاثة اللي هي A و B و C اللي قرأتها بدنا تكتبوا لها عنوان. اشرحوا ليش نقيتوا هذا العنوان. So just to help you, reading strategies. After the first reading of the text, you will have a general idea of the content. Think about possible headings. What content would you expect for each heading? Underline the keywords in each paragraph to help you. Now, read the text again more carefully. After you read each paragraph, consider what would be the most suitable heading for it. Consider why your headings are correct. What information in the paragraph helped you to choose the heading? Exercise 4. Read the text again and answer the questions. 1. Where do volcanoes occur? The correct answer is volcanoes occur where the plates in Earth's crust have cracks or weak spots in them. 2. What are the hot melted rocks called? 3. Are there any active volcanoes in Jordan nowadays? Explain. 4. Why is the ash dangerous? 5. Do you think it is safe to live near a volcano? Why or why not? Research box. The deepest mines on Earth are only about 4 kilometers deep. How far is the center of Earth from the surface? Vocabulary. The structure of a volcano. Exercise 5. Complete the labels on the diagram of the volcano with the words from the box. The words in the box are crust, lava, cracks, plates, rocks, ash, magma. في قاع البركان هنالك صفائح. هل الصفائح هم cracks, crust, or plates? The correct answer is plates. الصفائح هم البليتس. وفي القاع في تشققات في الصخور. هل التشققات هي crust, lava, or cracks? هناك فجوات تتجمع فيها الصهارة. هل الصهارة هي plates, ash, or magma? المنطقة الخارجية من البركان في قشرة. هل القشرة هي crust, lava, or cracks? الحميم البركاني الذي يخرج من البركان هل هو lava, plates, or rocks? الصخر الذي يتطاير من البركان هل هو ash, rocks, or magma? والرماد الذي يتطاير أيضا هل الرماد هو ash, plates, أو lava? Pronunciation. Exercise 6. Listen to the words in the box. Notice the sound at the beginning of the words. Repeat them. What are the letters that make the sound? The words in the box are crust, crack, crush. So the sound is cr from all of them. Crust, crack, crush. And the letters that make the sound are C, R. Cr, C, R. We call the sound of two consonants a cluster. So the CR is cluster. In pairs, find words in the vocabulary box on page 66 that start with other clusters. Write the words and say them. So the article I read about volcanoes, listen to it again and listen carefully to find the words with clusters. An example from the article is squeeze, SQ, and the word squeeze is a cluster. Writing, exercise 7. Imagine that you have just witnessed the eruption of a volcano. Write an account of what happened and what you saw.